Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the corner. Welcome to your latest Chelsea news. Lots popping off. As you can see, picture of Reggie Walsh is on the screen, which means there's obviously some news in regards to him and some really, really bright news. But what does it mean for the future of Chelsea midfield? I think we need to talk about that. There's some bits and bobs in regards to Ryan Kavuma McQueen. Special player, special kid. Apparently, he's been, training with the first team during this international break. What does it mean for his future? Is he going to be part of the Chelsea squad moving forward? And there's a lot of bits and bobs. There's some not some fine news, as in you got to pay up some money in regards to Enzo Maresca getting a touchline ban, and many other bits and bobs that's floating about, which we are obviously going to touch base on. And like always, ladies and gentlemen, smash up the like button. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Comment about every single topic that we are going to talk about. Now, let's kick things off from this piece of news. First up, all of this news is coming from Kieran Gill. Big up to Kieran Gill. He's been doing a splendid job for the Chelsea community from a journalist point of view. Blues wonder kid Reggie Walsh will sign his first professional contract with Chelsea next week, with sources confirming he is to put pen to paper on a pre-agreed deal after turning 17 years old. Enzo Maresca is a particular fan of the England youth player. Enzo Maresca is a huge fan. Huge fan. He's the one who gave Reggie Walsh the initial break last season, I believe in the Conference League matches. I don't know whether he got opportunities in the cup scenarios. We got knocked out in the cups quite early, to be honest. But in the Conference League, he definitely got some opportunities. You just know Enzo Maresca fancies this kid a lot. And as long as, it all really depends on Enzo Maresca as well, whether he's going to stick around at Chelsea Football Club. But if Enzo Maresca does stick around at Chelsea Football Club, you best believe Reggie Walsh is probably going to have a bright future, which then means what's going to happen in the midfield. I do believe, and there's been talks, there's been tweets, posts, not just on X, not just on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, all over social media. Chelsea journalists have been coming out and saying that Chelsea Football Club, the ownership, the directorship, they will continue to sell players in order to buy players. That's where we are operating at the moment, unfortunately, with all the UEFA restrictions and implications that are on us. This is what we have to do for the time being, which doesn't surprise me, which really doesn't surprise me. And then again, I'm not upset about it, because I know we need to get rid of certain players, not just in midfield, but there's quite a lot of defenders that we need to get rid of. Maybe even goalkeeping position we need to get rid of. Who knows, maybe even in the wings area that we need to get rid of players. So in midfield, you best believe if Reggie Walsh has a future, Romeo Lavia, question mark. Can he stay fit? If he's not fit, he's probably going to have to, see his way out in the next summer window, because how many more seasons can we keep doing that? So there's a question mark over there. Enzo Fernandez, what's the future with him? With Andre Santos now part of the setup, what's going to happen with Enzo Fernandez? Esugo is obviously going to come back from injury, and he seems to be the backup for Caicedo at the moment. Right now, he needs a backup. So there's potentially going to be a bit of a shake-up if Reggie Walsh has a future at Chelsea Football Club, which honestly, I want to see our academy products have that belief that there can be a future. You can be the next Reece James. You can be the next Levi Colwell. You can be, we'll see how far Achapong's career goes. But, the whole idea should be that if we don't need to go out there and purchase in the market, we should be able to dip our hand in and get the best talent from our academy. So Reggie Walsh, look, my only thing is I want to see him play, get a bit more game time this season. We've got Carabao Cup matches coming up against Wolves. And these are important matches. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to just give away charity, minutes, but that will be the target. Can he get some more minutes throughout this season to further develop his career and not just, get minutes in the development squad? He could potentially go out on a loan, but I feel like this is the type of player Enzo Maresca might not want to let him go on loan. He rather build him up in-house, training sessions, give him the minutes, become part of the first team squad. We shall see. But exciting news, first professional contract for Reggie Walsh. congratulations to him and big up to him. Another very, very good youth academy product that's developing at the moment is Ryan Kavuma McQueen. Spent all of this international break training with Chelsea first teamers who are not away on international duty and preparing for Saturday's trip to Nottingham Forest. He scored 4 times against Germany in a 7-5 victory for England under-17s. This is big news for Ryan Kavuma McQueen. To train with the first teamers all throughout this international break will go a long way for him. It'll go a long way for his morale, his development, his overall enthusiasm for Chelsea Football Club, which I'm pretty sure is sky high. So look, he'll learn a lot from the first teamers. He'll understand the setup. He'll understand what is required, and he'll learn a lot from Enzo Maresca. This is another kid from the bits and pieces that I've seen already. He does look like a very, very good player, man. And honestly, as I said, I'm all up for allowing our academy products that are really on top of the class, right? First rowers, basically, getting the opportunity to do well. So I've seen bits and bobs of, Ryan Kavuma McQueen's, footages. He looks like a really, really top youth product. So now it's just the moment of, soak it all in, get all of this exposure with the first teamers, and continue killing it in the development squad. And then maybe next season, Ryan Kavuma McQueen is probably just a tad bit behind Reggie Walsh. I still want Kavuma McQueen to work hard as much as he can in the development squad, and then next season really start getting those opportunities in the first team scenarios. So let's see what happens in terms of his development. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you let me know. Do you think he's ready perhaps to get an opportunity right now? We do have quite a lot of wingers, in the first team at the moment with Garnacho, Gittins, Pedro Neto, Esteval Willian, and so on and so forth. So, right now for Ryan Kavuma McQueen to get those opportunities will be difficult, but I think just as much getting the opportunity to train with the first teamers is absolutely brilliant. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. This is, let me see if I can, that actually makes it worse. We'll keep it like that. This is in regards to Enzo Maresca with the touchline ban that he's got recently. Regulation and discipline update. Enzo Maresca has been given a 1-match touchline ban and £8,000 fine for misconduct during the Premier League game between Chelsea and Liverpool on Saturday, 4th October. £8,000. Ooh, I'm scared. Wow. I mean, it's a pocket change for people like Enzo Maresca. It was alleged that the manager acted in an improper manner and or used abusive and or insulting words and or behavior during the fixture, which led to his dismissal around the 96th minute. Enzo Maresca subsequently admitted the charge and accepted the standard penalty. Look, he was on a yellow card. I don't know, probably got the yellow card for abuse and all of that other nonsense that was said over here. But eventually got a second yellow because he celebrated in the 96th minute the winner, the last minute winner from Esteval Willian, which was a fantastic moment for Chelsea after being in a horrid period, beating Liverpool as well, who were touted to absolutely thrash us in that fixture. So look, that incident itself, for me, it's bizarre. How are you getting a second yellow card from that? It's only natural that the manager in that situation, last minute winner, is going to react in that manner. But I get it. Rules are rules. You can't make an exception here, because then every manager is going to start doing that in the final minutes if there's a winner. Or they might even start saying, why just wait for the winning goal? Why not every goal celebrate like that? And be outside the box willy-nilly whenever, the technical box for the manager, whenever they feel like. So I get it. There needs to be a rule. It's just sad that this is why he's getting a second yellow card, because he celebrated. But nonetheless, this is how the cookie crumbles. And look, I just hope that this doesn't turn out to be a bit of a misfortuous, if that's even a word, misfortune for us against Nottingham Forest, because, there's going to be no Enzo Maresca available in the dugout. I'm sure he's going to be somewhere in the stadium, via some sort of a communication, even though you can't, but I'm sure they'll figure out a way to do all of that. I just hope that this doesn't become a problem against Nottingham Forest, who we definitely need to beat. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Moises Caicedo will be advised by family members moving forward alongside a lawyer who asked not to be named. We are told Caicedo is perfectly happy at Stamford Bridge, competing at the highest level. Fantastic. And that's how Neil, look at that boss picture, man, Conference League trophy. That's the feel I've got with Moises Caicedo for a very long time. He wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club. He wants to build a legacy. He wants to be a legend here. The only way you can do that is obviously you need to start with, you need to not start winning trophies, won trophies, but important, very, very important ones, Premier League, Champions League. And I'm sure that is what Moises Caicedo is gunning for right now. He's a humble human being. I fully believe that he wants to stay at Chelsea Football Club. He's been a Chelsea fan ever since he was a kid. So it's now up to Chelsea Football Club to ensure, make him happy. He is our best player, if not one of the best players. In fact, he's probably the best player right now. Because I want to throw Cole Palmer in the mix, but Cole Palmer obviously has been injured. And he's one of the best in the Premier League. So let's reward him adequately, and let's ensure that he never has to think about any other football club besides Chelsea Football Club. So look, I'm not worried about the change in agency and whatnot. Maybe he's done it to keep all the money in-house. Apparently his family members are now part of his agency squad. So look, it is what it is. As long as we make sure we give him the right contract, I'm not worried about it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Reece James skipped the international break with England as a precaution after his hamstring history, but his issue has been described as minor. His next appearance for Chelsea will be his 200th. Wow, brilliant, man. Crazy that it's taken this long, though, 200th. The amount of injuries Reece James has faced over the past 3-4 years. You would have thought the 200th game would have been a long time ago had he stayed fit. But look, finally, God willing, hopefully he stays, he's been staying fit and hopefully continues to stay fit. And whatever, regime we're following right now with Reece James in terms of keeping him fit, let's continue in that vein because it seems to be working. However we are managing him finally seems to be working for his body, for his health, and we are seeing a lot more of Reece James, which is only beneficial for us. He's our captain. We need him as much as possible in every single game. So hopefully he continues, and straight after the international break, we need him. I need him for Chelsea Football Club to lead us in this period where there's a lot of winnable matches, and we need to capitalize if we actually want to do something this season. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea have hired a new national goalkeeper scout, Gary Wood, who was most recently with Scottish Championship club Greenogue Morton in a player coach role. He will be focusing on scouting players from between under 12 to under 21's age group. So look, another body into our scouting network, getting a goalkeeper scout. I mean, we've got quite a lot of goalkeepers. A lot of them are not good. Mike Penders, Chelsea Football Club's putting all the eggs in one basket for Mike Penders. We're not going to go out there and purchase any new goalkeepers. There's been, posts coming from Chelsea journalists saying that we're not going back to Mike Mignon. So yeah, maybe there is a need for finding the next best goalkeeper. The problem with goalkeepers is it's very difficult to identify them at a very early age. Goalkeepers generally start peaking and developing quite later on in their career. The problem is we are looking for young goalkeepers. I'm not sure young goalkeepers carry that much credibility as opposed to as they keep growing and getting better and better. But let me know in the comment section, young goalkeepers, who are some of the best young goalkeepers at the moment in world football? Comment below and let me know. But yeah, another body added on the scouting squad. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, the 25 finalists for the 2025 European Golden Boy have been officially revealed. Estevan, Gerald Hato, Giovanni Conda, Mamadou Sarr, all part of it. Who do you think will win it? Look, Golden Boy. This is the first time maybe I have heard it previously. I just never paid too much attention on it. I mean, fine, fair enough. I mean, is this sort of like a Ballon d'Or for youngsters? I don't know, which is a strange one. But yeah, Golden Boy, there's a lot of players involved here. Pau Kobasi, Desiree Doué, Dean Huijsen, Keenan Yildiz, Miles Lewis-Kelly, plenty of names out there. And obviously we've got 4 of our players, which is fantastic to see, which shows that Chelsea Football Club. Yeah, the future looks bright. Carry on continuing to fix and develop the present. And yes, in the future, you've got all of these players to hopefully carry on the good work that the present squad is doing. And Esteval, Willian, and Gerald Hatta are already part of the present. So hopefully they will, have a lot of impetus in the current squad. But good to see, fantastic to see that all of these players that our football club has purchased are up for some big awards. Let's see if there's any other latest news that's been popping off, ladies and gentlemen. No, that is the latest. But yeah, let me know in the comment section in regards to Reggie Walsh, in regards to Ryan Kavuma McQueen. How do you feel about these two lads potentially joining the Chelsea first team down the track, and all the other topics that we've touched base on? Smash up the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, take care. See you.